Hey everybody, welcome into Northern Life. We got Briggs, Hunter, I'm Ryan. Thank you so much for being here with us. We are halfway through the week, thankfully.
Yes.
You know, yeah. What'd you say?
I said, love the sound of that.
Yes.
Love
Our director Seth was laughing in my ear because I said halfway, like
Ryan half.
halfway.
Yeah.
Dave Anderson's nickname for you is halftime.
I've never had any puns about my last name ever
sure.
in my life, so I'm glad Seth made one today. Hey, coming up today, we get answers to the question, what is the right age for your kid to get a cell phone? Also, we're going to be turning back the clock a little bit, taking a look at our first phones and the memories that come along with it.
Yeah, plus we have another Does It Work product. If you've always wanted another set of hands in the kitchen, well, there's a product looking to help keep you from burning your food. That's good news for me. I am a chronic burner or overcooker of pretty much everything.
Really? Are you not a good cook?
No, I'm really not.
Oh, wow. Is Matt a good cook?
He's much better than me.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like I'm saying he's not a good cook.
He still sucks, but he's
no, he's pretty good. He's pretty
Okay.
good. But if I even try to make chicken, it's going to be dry.
Wow,
It's
okay.
Shout out Matt.
The air fryer has been my friend.
Love the
Air fryer's the best,
Love
yes.
the air
It
fryer.
sure is. Well, it is Wednesday, as we mentioned, and we're usually fighting to get through the week at this point. And the same can be said for my dog, Harry, too. Take a look at this photo I took of him this morning. I know. He was just like, ugh.
Does he have a pillow?
Feel it.
Does that pillow say Harry on it?
Oh, it sure does.
That's
And
amazing.
it's like a picture of him
It
too
was a
above
gift.
it.
I know, like a little animated Great Pyrenees and then his name. He loves laying his head on that pillow. It's so cute. But yeah, he was feeling the hump day.
Yes.
Wednesday for sure.
He's excited to get through. He's pushing through like all of us are. That's fantastic.
I know, and he gets to come to work on Friday, so I think he's calmed down in his head. He's like, all right, only 2 more days to go.
If Harry had a 9 to 5, what do you think his 9 to 5 would be?
I think he'd be a good sniffing dog. I think he'd like to try to sniff. He's a crazy sniffer, just out on walks, just sniff the whole time. The whole time. I hope you could hear that in the mic.
He likes the senses.
I think he could be good. We have a sniffing dog who lives nearby,
Oh, sure.
and so I was like, hey, Harry, take some notes.
He's going to get on the force someday.
Bone in the nose. Yep.
Good for Harry. Hey, there are so many things to worry about throughout the week before we get to a more relaxing weekend. So we do have an awesome topic to discuss today. I found this question on social media as I was scrolling through my phone. It's, what's something you didn't realize was going to consume so much of your time as an adult? And I would say doing the things you don't necessarily want to do. It's like cleaning your house, dusting.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the amount of things that get dust so quickly. I mean, I used to, as a kid, I remember my mom handing me the dusting spray and the rag. But now as an adult, you go, how does that dusty? I just cleaned it like 10 minutes ago. It's insane. It's ridiculous.
I feel the same about Harry's hair.
Oh.
All over my stuff, always.
Right.
I'm always linting or vacuuming or something.
Man.
Yeah.
I love work. I love work. The job is the best. But I'd say the week is always long and the weekend's always short. So as an adult, it's like, the weekend, it's so short. Why not make it a little bit longer? One day extra. Give me Monday. Give me a Friday.
Yeah.
But I do love my job.
Wow.
So there we go. That's something like that.
You're going to be talking to Todd? Or
Sorry, Todd. I'm going to be going upstairs right after this.
Well, you went to Two Harbors. You had a 4-day school week, did you not?
We did
Okay.
for probably since I was in 6th grade. We had a 4-day school week,
What'd you
which was
think of that?
it was the best thing ever. It was so cool, but I didn't appreciate it as a kid until I'm now an adult and I have a 5-day week in college and in working and all that stuff. It was so nice to have that Friday off. So kudos to you kids in Two Harbors. Enjoy that while it lasts.
No kidding. I did not know that until I met you.
Yes.
And that Two Harbors kids had a 4-day school week. I don't
That's
know of any other
insane.
districts that do that.
I think we're the only school in the Northland, as far as I know. And maybe, I don't even know, like the state of Minnesota, maybe. It's pretty rare to see a school that does that. So
We'll have to
kinda
look it up.
crazy.
See what
Yeah,
happens.
I'll tell you that much. But I'll tell you what, one good thing about Wednesdays is we get to dive into our awesome viewer comments. We've got a lot of folks that like the show, a couple people that might have some issues with the show, but that's how it goes. You can't please everybody. Tina J is one of the people that likes the show, and she says, asking, how does Briggs get her name?
Yeah.
It's different. It's a cool name. We love your show. We love watching every evening. So Briggs, take it away.
I know. I do have a unique name. That was the best part, is that, in school, I never had another Briggs in my class. So that was kind of made things easy for me. But I have been told that I got it because my parents were on a trip and they were looking at, for their luggage, like on one of those carousel things, and they saw someone's name that was Briggs. I don't know if it was their last name or their first name.
Sure.
Weird.
But yeah, they thought it would be a cool name. My siblings have unique names too, Bauer, Gates, and I don't actually know how they got their names.
That's crazy.
So this is a bad story.
We'll have to get them on the show and ask the same question.
I'll have to ask my parents more
Or
about those stories.
Get your
they do
parents
have
on the
creative
show.
ones.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to another one, shall we? Next up comes from Ron C. on our Facebook messages. He says, Ryan, I too throw my laundry on the spare bedroom bed
Yes.
and sift through it throughout the week. Good on you, Ron.
You and Ron, kindred spirits
I
there.
know.
Ryan.
Sadly, I haven't learned from my mistakes. My laundry I did over the weekend that I brought down to my parents' house is still sitting in the bin. So glad to see somebody else is in that boat.
I was big talk last week. I told you guys that I put my laundry and wash my clothes right away when I get back from a trip. I got back from Rochester on Sunday night. It's still
in the bag.
I know. I feel guilty because I just told everyone I do it right away, but now I have to own up to it.
Yeah. When you get home tonight. Hey, we got a couple more before we go to break. Let's get to Catherine, who watched our blindfold shoot at Bridgman's. Catherine commented, "I bet people love seeing you and have you wait on them. I would."
Aww,
hey, shout out
sweet.
Catherine. Yeah,
That was cool.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We had some viewers, some non-viewers, but now probably future Northern Life viewers who we were talking to. So
getting out in the community.
It's a good time.
Exactly. And we have one from Jen's Boutique in Butternut, Wisconsin. Not kind of like boutique, but she makes bows. So that's super cool. They said, love the show. Keep up the great work. So big shout out to you, Jen's Boutique. That's very sweet of you to say. A lot of positive feedback just going out and talking to anybody at gigs or going out to the store. I mean, it's fantastic to hear all that great news. So thank you all very much.
It sure is. One more from Jay Quick. He says, my grandparents own that roller rig, World of Wheels that we were at.
Oh, cool.
So fantastic. Thank you, Jay. Coming up after the break, we're talking cell phones. Stick with us.
Hey everybody, welcome back into Northern Life. Usually when I'm heading out the door every single day, I'm looking for three things. I'm looking for a phone, I'm looking for my keys, and I'm looking for my wallet.
The big three. Yeah, our phones are becoming so important to us. And if you are a parent watching our show, you may have already gotten the question from your kids. When can I get a cell phone, Mom and Dad? Come on.
I wanted one, and when I was so little, it took a long time. But our affiliate in Wisconsin spoke with a doctor and researcher to find out when kids should get their own phone.
Fanning the flames, the fans in the stands at a softball game in West Madison. Grandparents, siblings, and parents can't always be standing on the sidelines, but they could still be there for their kids through a phone in their pockets. Like Tom Crumb's 11-year-old granddaughter.
She's got the phone available, so if she needs me, her mom, or anybody, she can call them. That's the nice thing.
For kids that have connected with tech since they were in their cribs.
This generation we refer to as digital natives.
I ask the expert.
What is the best age for a kid to get a cell phone?
That is a great question. I would say the best age is when the parents and the child both agree that they are ready for a smartphone.
When is that though? When are you ready?
It's like so many things with parenting and youth these days that there isn't a single one-size-fits-all age.
Dr. Megan Morino, a UW Health Kids adolescent health researcher and physician, recommends an online tool called the Smartphone Readiness Quiz to help parents figure out the best age.
And one of the questions on the Smartphone Readiness Quiz that I love asks about whether the child is someone who tends to lose their hat and their mittens, which are pretty cheap to replace every year, but chances are if your child is losing hats and mittens pretty frequently, that they're probably going to be losing a smartphone.
With access to the internet and social media, the cost of the physical phone may not compare to the price some kids might pay with their time and attention.
I think there's the benefit or the balance between having social capital and understanding how to use it safely, but also not necessarily being addicted to it.
Whether your child is 8 years old or in 8th grade, the introduction to phones or social media can be taught the same way teens learn how to drive.
They start out doing some didactic learning in driver's ed. They get a learning permit, and the first 6 to 12 months they're driving, a parent is at their side.
Dr. Morino says to establish rules around media use, the entire family must follow. Looking at your own media use.
We might be on our phones, we might be reading something productive, but it might appear that we're just on our devices.
So wait a second, she didn't even say the answer. She just kind of skirted the answer a little bit. She didn't say an exact age.
It's when you're ready. The parents and the kids talk about it.
Okay.
Fortunately, I'm not a parent, so I don't have to have that conversation.
That's true. That's true.
And kids, there's a lot of different maturity levels, You can have a fifth grader who's maybe a lot more mature than another fifth grader, might be ready for a phone. But yeah,
and we remember our first phones. I mean,
me too.
We actually have a photo to share of mine. Mine was a Motorola Razor.
You would.
Carol and Jeff Half helped me out in 7th grade, I think it was. So, I used to do the thing where you like flipped it like that and then you pretended you were shaving. It was such a cool thing. But I needed it for like sports and stuff like that.
Sure.
But I used to text like once every so often in school and be like, hey, I'm in math class. And my friend would be like, so am I. Like, why are you
I'm
texting
sitting right
me?
next to you. Stop it.
But we were talking more about phones before the show, and Briggs was talking about our old ringtones that we used to listen to.
Oh my gosh,
So-
embarrassing. Yeah. That's mine.
Sean Paul, temperature.
I know. Like, what was I thinking? I was in like 8th grade.
It was a great song.
It was a bop.
It's a fun song.
It was
it's
a
fun
bop.
song. But like, really? I probably paid like $8 for that too.
I bet you were the coolest kid in school, though. That's a
when
cool
my
song.
backpack goes off in the coat room with temperature playing.
Oh no, it was a good song. Me and Seth were listening to it before the show too. It's a throwback.
Oh,
it brings
my
back
gosh.
good memories though. Those types of songs.
You had an interesting ringtone you were saying to it. Well, interesting way you got the ringtone.
Yes, exactly. I was on my hour-and-a-half bus ride home one day, and so I hit the record. That's me.
And we have footage of that.
Oh my gosh,
Actual footage.
that's my brother Colton. Look at that.
That's not in the city though. That would
No.
not be
There's a lot more deer and things out there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I literally hit record on my phone, and I held it up, and it was Jack and Diane by John Cougar Mellencamp. I recorded it on my 2009 Nokia. And
From the bus speaker.
From the bus speaker. Look at that. That's about what my phone looked like.
That's what my dad's phone used to look like. He said his
really?
first phone used to look like that. But I imagine, Hunter,
funny.
the audio on that, whatever you recorded, had to have sounded so terribly. Do you remember, like, he used to say, like, hey, listen to this.
Yes.
And he put it to the speaker, and your friend would go, I have no idea what's playing.
It's
in that.
inaudible.
Yeah.
No idea.
Bad. Things really didn't get good till like the smartphones came out, and I didn't get one of those until I went to college.
I think
which is
that's about me,
crazy
too.
to think about life before a smartphone, as sad as that sounds.
Yeah.
No,
But
for
having
sure.
access to your computer like that, my favorite thing is your math teacher telling you when you were little, you're never going to have a calculator at your fingertips at all times.
Yes!
Hey, now, look at me now.
It's everywhere. Yeah, there you go.
Internet, yeah.
Called out. You're like, where is my phone?
Yeah.
My phone is under there. Oh
my
man,
gosh.
good memories, good memories. Hey, coming up after the break, we got another Does It Work? If you're tired of stirring the pot, do you wish somebody else would help you out? We'll see how it works after the break.
Well, most recipes require a lot of stirring. It could get a little exhausting going back and back and forth checking on food or back and forth stirring too.
All over the place. So hopefully, to make your life easier, the makers of the product called StirMate promise their device works as an extra set of hands in the kitchen. I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical.
You have every reason to be. Our friend Rachel Hackbarth putting it to the test in another edition of Does It Work?
One of Stephanie McCurdy's favorite things to make is this stew recipe. One of her least favorite parts about making it, how often she has to stir the pot. For almost $70, the StirMate promises to do the hard work for you, automatically stirring your food and keeping it from scorching.
So it'd be really helpful, that way you don't have to keep going back into the kitchen and stirring the pot, making sure nothing's sticking to the bottom.
The rechargeable StirMate comes with a stirrer and these paddles. You can make adjustments depending on the depth of your pot.
So far, what are your thoughts on the StirMate from what you see so far?
It looks kind of complicated to put on the pot, actually.
The instructions say we need to insert the stirrer, clamp it down, and center the pot.
Does it seem pretty easy so far?
Not necessarily.
That pessimism quickly turns to positivity after we get our little chef up and running.
There you go.
But Stephanie isn't so sure that the StirMate is reaching down far enough, no matter how many adjustments we make.
So what do you think about the StirMate?
It gets some of the pot, but it doesn't get all of the pot.
While Stephanie says she's hesitant to trust the StirMate with her stew, she would trust it with some of her easier soup recipes.
It would probably work for some, but not for all.
For Does It Work? I'm Rachel Hackbarth.
Working for some, but not for all. I don't know if it's working for us.
How much was it?
Almost $70.
$70.
Ridiculous. I'm not buying that.
You could
No
put
way.
a kid standing there next to a soup stirring it for you.
Why you have kids,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
You're like, son, I'll pay you $10 to do this for me.
You can even have your cell phone in one hand. And
Yeah.
stirring it the
Whoa,
other.
much does the kid have the cell phone?
True. Yeah,
We don't
I don't know.
know.
That thing would probably help me because I am not very good. I forget sometimes when I have stuff going, making it. So it could help. I don't know, but I don't know if I would pay that much money for it.
No way, $70. That's ridiculous. And like Ryan you were saying kind of during the package that it doesn't scrape the bottom to get all the burnt stuff off.
Right.
I mean, it's just not a good recipe. No.
One of the
way.
worst things to stir scrambled eggs with a bad pan.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey, we were-
I don't know. How would that work for eggs? That'd be weird.
You're right.
I don't know if it's advertised to work with eggs. I think it might just
Okay,
be for
so-
water and soup. But
Got it.
we were talking about pasta the other day. I think yesterday because it was National Pasta Day.
Yeah.
I was at home. I was thinking what to eat, and I wanted to ask you two: is it just acceptable to still eat only buttered noodles as a meal as an adult?
No.
No.
If you have no friends. No, just
Oh.
I'm kidding. No, that was me.
Wow.
That was me.
You did the buttered noodles by yourself?
Yeah.
Well, that's
I mean,
okay if it was by yourself, but I just mean like, was it by itself?
me and all my friends. Oh wait, no one's here.
Right. I've done that before. Not recently, but I've done that before.
Had
It
buttered
tasted good.
noodles?
Yeah, it's good. It's flavorful. You put a little garlic on there.
It's good, but is it acceptable?
Well, I think maybe if you're at home, yes. But if you go to a restaurant, you order buttered noodles,
Gotcha.
I might have questions about
Okay.
that.
At home, you're lazy. You butter some noodles. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably
And
fine,
if someone
right?
else is cooking for you, you might as well get some sauce or some
Right.
chicken on it.
Chicken nuggies and buttered noodles at your local restaurant.
Sounds really good to me.
Chocolate milk a little bit.
Hey.
Sounds pretty good. Yeah, give me some crayons while we're at it.
Oh boy, well,
I'll try to find some friends later that day.
Just kidding.
maybe during the break, yeah. We'll be right back after the break, taking a look at what's coming up tomorrow. Welcome back. Coming up tomorrow, there's a haunted house in eastern Wisconsin that is offering a buried alive experience. We're going to see exactly what that means. It's probably a lot what it sounds like, and I don't want any part of that.
No way! Are you kidding me?
Holy
That's going to be the
Hannah.
scariest thing on the planet.
Our office manager, Jen, upstairs was telling me about this place in Minneapolis. I forgot the name of it, but she said you used to have to sign a waiver at their place because then the performers would be allowed to like touch you when you're going through the experience and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want any part of that. I don't want any part of the haunted ship.
You have to sign a waiver to do something. I'm not any part of that.
No.
That's not going to happen.
Scary movies.
Yeah.
No, I don't want any part of
Was that at
that.
the old spaghetti factory?
It might have
something
been.
in downtown. I
Yeah.
think I've heard of that.
Spaghetti factory.
Yeah, it was like an old,
It was a famous restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
And now they have, I think, converted it to a haunted house. If we're talking about the same place, which we might be, but I've heard that is very scary. So no, thank you. Me neither.
You're gonna have to wait and see what it looked like because it's kind of a funny story, but kind of a wild-looking experience. So come back tomorrow.
Looking forward to seeing that one. Well, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Wishing you all a very lovely Wednesday.
Find some time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.